Good morning and a very warm welcome. Well, after a session like that on sport, that really sets the mood. So since we started off with sport, the next obvious step is music. Okay? So I'm chilled out this morning. There are no questions on politics because there's enough time these television channels have in the evening to do all their screaming matches on prime time. We have so much to celebrate, so I'm glad India Today have used this morning to celebrate first with those three lovely ladies, including Jhulan, the pride of India and the pride of Bengal, and the two lovely ladies there who are so busy with their WhatsApp messages, I'm sure that... ठीक है, good. Don't listen to what politicians say. ठीक है, okay. But it's wonderful. So we've got a session lined up. I'm really looking forward. I'm looking forward to this because there's no pressure, and this is a very special guy, and I'm part of his fan club. Anupam Roy. Let's have Anupam on stage. Thanks, Anupam. So we're going to have a chat. We thought we should have the chat in Bengali, but then we thought it would be very rude. Mr. Puri wouldn't understand. So we don't want a comedy show, and that's why this is not in Hindi, because then I'll make a natural comedy show. So we'll have it in English, okay? Anupam, first, the question which I've always been wanting to ask you. Gold medalist in engineering in Jadavpur University. Is this a fact or is this a Wikipedia mistake?
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me here today. Yes, Derek, unfortunately, it's a fact.
It's a fact. So talk us through this. I mean, you went to St. Paul's, which wasn't one of the fancy schools in Calcutta.
Right.
Then you went to MP Birla. Then you had this focus of doing joint entrance, gold medalist. Then you go to Bangalore to join Texas Instruments. I mean, what happened?
Yeah, like every other Bengali boy maybe, while growing up, taking up science was a big thing for me. And I had to take up science because my father's a doctor, and it's expected that the son also does something similar. I wanted to be a doctor, but as I was studying biology and all these subjects, I think engineering looked a bit lucrative. I don't know, was it because of the jobs they offer, you get, or because of the mathematics that you need to practice. But I slowly got interested towards engineering, and I cleared my joint entrance. I went to Jadavpur University to do my engineering. I don't know, things kept on happening, and I'm the kind of guy who always has the fear of missing out. So I kept on studying, and unfortunately I got the gold medal, which I believe everyone in my class deserved. But as luck would have it, I got it.
Then you went to Bangalore and you joined Texas Instruments. Then you came back to Calcutta. Talk us through that, because you chucked up a regular career and then started writing and then writing music.
See, the thing was, I was always writing. I was writing songs when I was at the age of 13 or 14. So I kept on writing songs, but I never had the courage to take up music or writing as a profession. So I had to choose the stereotypical path, be an engineer, which our country already has so many engineers. I think I just added an extra engineer to the country. So I went to Bangalore, I did my job, and while in Bangalore, while working, I still did not have enough courage to quit the job and do a full-time career in music. It took me 6 years before I made that decision and came back to Kolkata, came back to Bengal in 2010 and started my career as a songwriter.
Anupam, there are a lot of people today in their late 20s, in their early 30s, who've kind of in good, cushy jobs, but they don't have that courage, if I may use the term, to take that leap. To them, what do you have to say?
It's all about what you actually want to do. I want to see, I think everyone wants to be happy at the end of the day. And our job, what we do actually for living, is a very crucial thing to our existence. I believe if we can pursue what we really like to do, we spend the day which we really enjoy what doing, then we don't get tired, we don't get bored of life. So that's very crucial to me, and I take life very easily these days because I'm in the field of music, I'm in the field of arts where I can spend, I can think, and I can really enjoy what I'm doing. So, and I feel I think I can contribute to this field. If I was an engineer, I don't think I could have contributed anything in the field of engineering. So it's an inner calling, basically.
It's an inner calling?
Right.
Let's get to the Bangla side of the music. There are so many, it's a new genre. I remember when we were in college, we would have people doing covers of Pink Floyd and covers of Rolling Stones and covers of the Beatles, through college fests. And then came, after Mohini Ghoraguli, the change. So the Anupams, the Rupams, the Chandrabindus, the Bhumis, the Nochikitas, the Kobi Shumons, the Anjan Dattos. It's a kind of new genre of music. How do you think this happened? Because this changed the whole look of Bangla music.
Yeah, I think songwriting is is related to Bengal somehow. We it's a culture, and we have so many songwriters in the past that it gives the courage to a young guy or girl who wants to take up music that he or she can actually contribute in the field of songwriting because of our history. And that's why we had so many songwriters from Bengal and people who really like to put forward the thought through their music. And it also encouraged me, it's also helped me in the process when I also wanted to be a songwriter.
But tell me, when you write music, because you're also, and I'm not being rude, you're also a very sellable commodity. I mean, your music sells.
See, that happens after a long time. When you start doing something, it really doesn't matter. And you really don't think about whether it's going to sell or it won't sell. Because you're doing it for yourself. You're doing it yourself because you like writing songs. You want to showcase what you think through your songs. So that's how it starts. This business and the other things, they come much later to your life. And that makes things so complicated.
Complicated? Why do you say it makes it complicated? Because it's someone has to handle your business.
Finances?
Yeah. Who handles your wife?
No. I handle it myself. And what happened when I was in college, when I was working, I had the luxury of writing on whatever subject I felt like. Now these days, since I'm into this business of making songs, sometimes I'm under pressure that I have a timeline, I have a deadline to meet, and I have to compose something in 7 days. While actually, I'm not in the mood for it. I can give you an example. I was working in a very dark Bengali film, action-oriented Bengali film, and they needed some dark kind of music in December 2015. And that was the time when I just got married. And I was really not in the mood for it. And it was a very difficult phase. I was so happy that I didn't feel like writing songs.
It's interesting. It's interesting that you say that.
It's just 1 month after marriage,
please.
So...
no, it's interesting that you say that, Anupam. Just carry on with that thought. So, for singer-songwriters like you, or even when Dylan wrote his great music when he was tough times, he was going through a divorce and all kinds of pain in his life. And all of us go through some pain at some time. Do you think when you were having the painful moments in your personal life, do you think that helped you to write better music? Or is it easier for you to write better music when you are in your happy mode 1 month after your wedding?
I think it's most difficult to write your best music when you're in the happy mode. Because that's the time when you really enjoy and you're really not thinking too much about life or not thinking too much about the situation. The crisis in one's life, I feel, is the best moment when you can test the person, what he's actually, whether he's breaking down, whether he's surviving, how is he facing the situation. So personally, in my case, crisis has always been a very important part of my songwriting. Now, to put things in a different light, sometimes when I'm really happy, these days I am, I put myself in crisis situations. That suppose something was wrong. Suppose this was not going the way I wanted. So what would happen? And maybe I can come up with a song.
Good. I hope your wife is watching this on India Today. Okay. Anupam, lots of people who are not from Calcutta, who are not from Bengal, you know, and they don't know perhaps about the width of your work or the importance of your work. It goes back to the Hindi song you did. Okay. So we've had a conversation. We've got about half an hour to go. But if we've chatted for 13, 14 minutes, I'm sure it would be more appropriate for Derek O'Brien not to ask questions and Anupam Roy to answer questions. Maybe it's a good idea, if everyone agrees, can we have the guitar out and can we have, you know, Anupam on the guitar? Okay.
So can I get my guitar?
Just in case you thought that was spontaneous, it wasn't. We had the guitar backstage. Okay. But we try and make it look like the 9 o'clock prime time, which also looks spontaneous. But it's not so spontaneous. It's a lot of it is premeditated. Rahul, Rajdeep, Padmaja Khan, I'm in charge today. Okay. Now I know all of you know that Anupam has done music for Piku and loads of Bengali hits. But I'm going to ask him to play a song which you haven't heard before. Which you haven't heard before. And if you are kind of my vintage, you'd perhaps enjoy this. Now, I don't want to be like Boria and set up that beautiful Olympic ceremony which you did, beautiful. But आगे से script बोल दिया तो मैं नहीं करूँगा वो. So this is a song you haven't heard before. It's only got a couple of hundred YouTube views. But can you imagine this guy even trying to do this, being a Bengali rock star? Enjoy.
Can I have my guitar on the monitors?
Okay? No, the...
So this song is about a girl I met in a bookstore. This actually happened. I was going through a bookstore and I met someone. I never talked to that person. She left before I could realize. And I wrote a song about her. Girl in a bookstore, what's she reading? Can't be so sure. Checking up my playlist. Will she like it if I play her some bright songs? Girl in a bookstore, what's she reading? Can't be so sure. Checking up my playlist. Will she like it if I play her some bright songs? Maybe I'm wrong. She might be loving all the sad songs. The way that she smiles. Maybe I'll sing a broken heart song. Did I speak too soon? Even if she doesn't care, I'm gonna sing the song anyway. Even if she doesn't bother, I'm gonna write this song anyway. How can I forget her? How can I forget her, get her? Na 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 na, na 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 na. Girl in a bookstore, will she like it if I play her some bright songs? And then she left.
Whoa! Yeah. You know, a little bit of Bob Seger, a little bit of Garth Brooks, a little bit of Paul McCartney all rolled into one. Isn't that a lovely song? So, I mean, and your Twitter handle says you're R.O. Floyd, Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
So what's your musical base? Here I'm talking about Gautam Chattopadhyay and Mohinur Ghoragoli and you're doing this kind of stuff. So do you have a lot of Western, all of you, in fact, not only you, but everyone else who does this kind of music in Bengal?
Yes, so things started changing in the 90s. Previously, when I started growing up, my mother used to sing me Rabindra Sangeet, and Tagore songs were the first songs that I learned. And then I slowly started getting introduced to Bangla pop music. And, but things changed since globalization happened. And we got introduced to a hell lot of stuff which was not done in our country. And music from all over the world just entered our lives. And I think like any other kid, I got introduced to Western music, and they kept on motivating me. One of my favorite bands is Pink Floyd. That's why I've got that Floyd thing in my handle. So this was a very teenage stuff that happened to me. I was in college, and that time we were all creating our email IDs. That was the first thing, and we needed an identity. So that was when we started creating email IDs. Anupam Roy was already taken, and Anupam 123 or something like that seemed very silly to me at that time. So I created something like A. Roy Floyd. It was very juvenile stuff, I feel, but it stuck with me, and I ended up with my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram, everything connected as A. Roy Floyd. So I'm stuck with Floyd.
Okay, let's come to Bengal. Yours is a very interesting story. Like the great Gautam Da, who was a medical rep in Indore or Bhopal, he left it all in the 70s and he came back to do his music in Bengal. You, in a sense, have done the same thing. You were in Bangalore, chucked it all up, and came here to do your music. And you have often said that there's a lot of Bengal in your music. In fact, some of your fans call you like that. You write some of your music for non-resident Bengalis in that sense. So, do you feel you are a hardcore Bengali at heart with the kind of music you've written?
See, what happens is while I was in Kolkata, while I was doing my graduation, I was not that a Bengali. The moment I stepped out of Bengal, I think it happens for all of us. Whenever you step out of your country or your region, you become more attached to that place. And when I went to Bangalore, I don't know what happened. I started reading more Bengali stuff. I started reading more Bangla. I listened to Bangla music and get attracted to the culture even more. And that was a crisis period for me, because I was doing my stuff in Bangla and I was in Karnataka, where the language was Kannada, and I was not being able to communicate. And it was very difficult for me at that time to learn Kannada and write songs in that language. So I didn't know what to do. I could have chosen to do in Hindi or English, but I always felt that because of my growing up, because of my inclination, I was more a Bangla person. So that was a crisis period when I was trying to connect to Bangla, to come back to Bengal, to do something here because of the language. And it took me 6 years.
Great. So what are your 3 favorite holiday destinations in Bengal? Don't tell me all your wife's secrets, so we won't follow you there, but three real darun bouke niye eta Bangla ekta chuti kora.
See, Bangla, I think, has the privilege of having both the mountain and the seas. So, obviously, if I want to go to the mountains, I would prefer Darjeeling.
So, Darjeeling is one. Okay.
If I want to go to the seaside, it would be Mondarmoni, and which I really do visit often. And if I want to take a weekend off, I would go to Shantiniketan.
So, these are your top 3.
Yeah, right
okay.
now.
What are your favorite 3 things you like about Calcutta?
Do I have to mention 3?
No, 17 is okay.
See, I really like the mindset of people in Calcutta. I find our city, my neighbors, like they're kind of very liberal kind of mindset, and they're very accommodating, and we like to accept new changes and the progressive kind of mindset. I would like to cite an example when Article 377, this thing got scrapped, and the Supreme Court gave a verdict which I really appreciate. I think Kolkata airport was one of the airports which painted one of the conveyor belts, the whip gear, which was a symbol and which was supporting a kind of the Supreme Court verdict. And it helps to give out the right message that every community is welcome in Kolkata. And it speaks of the liberal and the progressive mindset of the people of Kolkata.
Very nice, Anupam. I'm trying to learn the art of listening, which is also important. So I'm also learning today. So that's very, very good. You spoke about the liberal mindset in Calcutta, and I don't want to go on the political route, but this is a news channel, and one of the big stories in the last 10 days has been the Me Too movement. And it's obviously rolling out in some way in India. And people, I don't mean to say in your profession, but it could be entertainment or the corporate world or journalism, or, you know, it'll perhaps pick up. What's your view? What's your view on the Me Too movement?
I'm a big supporter of the Me Too movement. There has been a long silence, and I personally was not so aware of it. When the Me Too movement started, I found out it's not limited to people working in certain professions. My friends, who I never thought would write such things on Facebook, came out. And it was all, like, most of my female friends have faced something or some harassment or other, and they came out open in public. I think this is very, very important in our times, that people start speaking, because there has been a huge, huge shift of power. The entire power structure has been so polarized, and people have been silent for so long. This is the time when people have started speaking out, and I think this movement will continue until, I don't know if the power structure will ever change, but it's going in the right direction. Maybe we need to sit up and look at the power structure, how the gender roles have changed over the years, and how we can get things even in the best way possible. And Me Too movement is one of the ways, I think, to go ahead.
But there are people from your own industry, the big names beyond music in the world of films, who are mum on this subject. It almost seems to people like us that it's one big clique and they won't speak. So to them, what is the rock star of Bengal?
See, I think the past will always catch up. If you have done something, and if it comes up, it's going to come up someday, sooner or later. People might have escaped. People might have escaped the spotlight, but things are going to change, and people should be very careful about the way they behave, how they treat their position, the powerful position they are in, because power really corrupts, and I believe in that. So a simple person getting in a... I belong to a very privileged kind of society, and I may take things take things for granted, but this won't continue for long, and people misusing power will soon be under spotlight.
Good, Anupam. At least you've spoken from your heart. Now, tell us the story, and then perhaps you can pick up your guitar after that. You know, everyone from Bengal at some time from the 60s to 70s, you make it big in Bengal, then you go to Bombay. Okay? So, tell us first, briefly, how you got the break in Bombay with Piku, and then I'm sure all of us want to hear the chorus, at least from that song.
So that's a very interesting story for me. We all know Shojit Sarkar. Shojit Da suddenly calls me up one day, and he tells me that he wants me to do a song for his film. I was very surprised. I asked him, "Are you doing a film in Bangla?" He said, "No, it's a Hindi film." So I was really shocked. Why did he choose me? Because I had not shown anything. I have not done anything in Hindi.
Is this the Bengali mafia in Bollywood? You know, the directors, the music directors, the singers. You know, so you guys have pretty much got it under control.
No,
you probably have Mudi Ghonto for lunch or something, no?
I'm not going into this debate, but Shojit Da calling me.
So he called you and said, "Hey, the film's yours, do the film."
No, he gave me one song.
Okay.
And these days, you know how things are in film music. Getting one song in a film is a big thing for a newcomer. Getting an entire film is a very different thing. And after that one song got approved, he asked me to do another song. I went to his Salt Lake residence. I played him that song. That song also got approved. Then he told me...
When you say got approved, what does it mean? It means you go there with your guitar, you sit and play the song, and then he says like approved. It's like an ad jingle.
Yeah.
Is it like an ad jingle or
exactly
something?
like that.
Okay.
It's like you make something, you create something, but it has to
Be approved.
yes, it gets reviewed by the director, by the producer,
And it's like, how does it happen? It happens like spot on.
it depends. Sometimes it happens spot on. Sometimes it takes months to get a song approved because first time they don't like it.
And when does the check come?
That's another story. But
Okay.
Shujit,
So do you want to hear that song? Bolo.
But Shujit is an excellent person, and about checks, I really don't need to worry from Shujit.
Now you're sounding like a politician. Keep all the boys happy. All right. Okay. Do you want to hear Hindi now, Piku? Right? Okay. Because should I ask him some tough questions? See, I'm such a, non-screaming, non-screeching. You know, Anupam. Acha. So this is good. Anupam, are you used to performing like this in public before 4 o'clock in the afternoon? Is this odd for you?
Yes, morning sessions are really odd for me.
Okay,
I'm not a morning person, and all
Yeah.
our concerts are usually in the evening.
Okay.
But fine, as long you're with me, Derek.
Okay, cool.
So this was the song which really got popular. It's called Bezubaan, and this was the first song to get approved for this film Piku. झीनी झीनी इन सांसों से पहचानी सी आवाजों में गूंजा है आज आसमां कैसे हम बेजुबान इस जीने में कहीं हम भी थे ज्यादा या जरा कम भी थे रुक के भी चल पड़े मगर रास्ते सब बेजुबान.
Wonderful. Let's have a round of applause for Anupam.
Thank you.
Anupam, with more hits like these, do you see yourself flying out and living in Lokhandwala complex in Mumbai? Or if you don't like Lokhandwala, then where do the other guys live? Andheri West. And I hope you make it to Malaba Hill. But do you really see yourself in Mumbai 5 years from now? Or you will create your music in Calcutta? And if then anyone wants a quiz, they can come to Calcutta. Anyone wants to do music, they can come to Calcutta.
So it's
No, I said music.
It's a really difficult choice, actually. When I started with Piku in 2015, many of my friends advised me to move to Bombay because getting work would definitely be easier if I stayed in Bombay. But somehow I never could take the decision of moving out of Bengal because I live a very comfortable life over here. And I think a person who's very happy in a current situation, he doesn't want to change his state of being. So it's like an electron jumping from one orbit to the other. So I don't feel like moving out of Calcutta because I am living a very comfortable life. I like doing live concerts, and I do it a lot in Bengal. I travel abroad for concerts.
Do you travel abroad? They pay you in dollars?
Yes.
So have you brought your rate down now that the rupee has depreciated? And
Let's not
it'll
get
reach
into
80 rupees?
I'm not.
No, this is not a political question. This is the reality, you know. So suddenly your concert, which was $2,000, can now be $1,800 and you'll earn more money.
Yeah, it might be. But since I'm not going to the States in this year, I've not thought about it. Maybe next year. Let's see how the rupee does.
About 95 then, by then, you know. Okay, now, Anupam, listen. I've kept all your rules. There's nothing on politics. We have a nice, easy chat. But I'm going to wrap this up in the last 3 or 4 minutes by asking you to make some tough choices. Okay? I'm going to give you question, 2 choices. You've got to choose one of the 2. Right? So we start with an easy one. Live shows or music studios?
Live shows.
Oh, okay, easy. Okay. Mumbai Bollywood or Kolkata Tollywood?
This one's bad.
Listen, think where the checks are coming bigger, you go for that only.
Maybe
Careful, you got a big live audience here. Pressure.
I won't answer that.
No. Come on. Do you guys, should he answer this? Come on.
See,
You see, I've kept every rule. We had an easy chat. Now, I've only got 7 questions. This is number 2. No. Stick to the point, Anupam. You have to answer.
This is not
it's either Mumbai Bollywood or Kolkata Tollywood.
This is not Rajya Sabha. I'm not listening to you. So,
Nice.
music is my priority, and whoever respects music the most, I'm working for them.
Yeah. Very nice. Okay. This is a deep one, highly philosophical. Deepika or Priyanka?
Deepika.
Okay. Give me 5. I agree. For whatever it's worth. Okay. Standalone music or film music?
Standalone music.
All right. Puchka or jhalmudi? Puchka or jhalmudi?
Puchka.
Really? Sonu Nigam or Arijit Singh?
I'm not answering that.
Hey, come on.
See, this is my profession. I have to work with singers, and I can't.
You ask me any politician, I'll tell you, I'll choose. Come on, you can't be.
Politics is different.
No, Sonu Nigam or Arijit Singh?
I can't answer that.
You go to a concert and you can only go to one concert. Okay, I'll change that for you. You can only go to one concert. They are both brilliant. They are both like out of this world. They are both. But if you have to buy a ticket for only one concert, which concert would he be?
I'm not going.
So 2. He has an answer 2 out of 6. Last one. R.D. Burman or A.R. Rahman?
R.D. Burman.
All right. Very, very good. Anupam, it's been an absolute joy to speak with you. I've known you now for many, many years. And the best thing about you, man, is that you haven't changed. Very, very good. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks India Today for giving me this opportunity after sport to talk about music. And I think as a politician today, I'm trying to learn. It's been 15 years in politics. And I think we can all be a little better in politics if we become better listeners. Thank you. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much.